Okay, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. Let's talk about this Teo Lopez comment about Josh Taylor. Basically, I'm not going to say it on YouTube because YouTube are very sensitive. They don't like certain words. But let's just say he's threatening to take his life, or he said he wanted to take his life. And some people don't really fully understand where he's coming from. It does seem a little bit like a shocking statement. And I get that. But I've got, my explanation on perhaps why he said it. Well, not just perhaps, but why he said it. And I'll give you some experiences maybe I've had, and just we'll delve into the whole Gladiator essence of boxing as well, because I watched a couple of Gladiator films earlier today. So I was like, I've got some research to go on. But anyway, let's get into the video.
This is a kill or be killed sport, and I said it like it is. I want to kill Josh Taylor.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I'm going to punish him for it. I'm going to punish him for keeping my name in his mouth and disrespecting me for no reason. So,
boxing.
Okay, shout out to all the subscribers, big up to anybody new locked in, welcome aboard. Excuse the train, it always seems to come right when I'm about to start a video. Anyway, before I go on, I just want to give a shout out to Outmatch Boxing, great channel. I watched his video on this. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. Articulate young man, really knows what he's talking about with boxing and delivers such an eloquent message a lot of the time. So I couldn't recommend his channel more. Shout out to you, bro. Anyway, so I'm piggybacking off of his video a little bit, and because it got me thinking, and I thought, I could at least explain a little bit about maybe my thoughts on Teo and why he's saying these things. I did not necessarily agree with how he said it, because he said it so kind of flippantly and a little nonchalantly, where I think perhaps that might be taking it, a bit to people's dislike, where he's almost half smiling, says, I want to KILL. I can't talk to too many words on YouTube. They get really funny with the algorithm, I'm already in the digital gulags. So I've got to be careful. But basically, look, Teo right now, I think ultimately he's a little vulnerable, all right, mentally. I think that's pretty obvious. He's going through some shit in his life, pardon my language. He's going through some stuff in his life. I think he just had, his wife is divorcing him. Is going to take half of his money. He's just had some turbulence since the Cambosos fight. A lot of delusion and a lot of I don't know. Seems to be searching for some stuff, and he's come out and he seems a bit lost. I feel for him a little bit. But with regards to his comments, I do understand them, because at the end of the day, going back through history, boxing, or like putting two men or women, well, nowadays, not back in the days, used to be man against man or man against beast. I can't imagine fighting a tiger back in the days, no way. But it's like these are the same people, Josh Taylor, Teo, anyone that steps in that ring, anyone that's a gladiator has that same mindset. It's obviously there are possibilities. You can die, you can injure yourself so badly, even in sparring, as I have, which I'll talk about a bit later, and you get hoisted into a kill or be killed situation, all right, and it is dark. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna let somebody kill you? Oh, there goes the algorithm again. But look, I'm not saying I agree with him coming out and saying it just so casually. But he's just being honest about the situation. He wants to come out of that victorious, and he's going to do whatever he has to do to be victorious and to not be, So, but going back to Gladiator days, I mean, there were literally events, games, if you want to call them that, where it was to the death. Like you if you wanted to live, you wanted to, you know, basically not even get your freedom, but just survive that day, you had to kill your opponent. That was what was happening. And when someone's coming at you, and like usually that, obviously that fight or flight situation, or that moment of, I keep saying the word I'm not supposed to say, comes up in a fight when it's like, okay, go time. Maybe he's a couple of weeks away from the actual fight happening. Was it on the 18th? He's deep in training camp. All right, he's getting into his heart. Like he's getting into this K or be K'd mentality. All right, now he's doing an interview. I'm assuming that interview was recent. So when you are secluding yourself like that, and you're just fighting, sparring, like, you know, just you're in beast mode. It's no surprise those words came out of his mouth. Do you know what I mean? Because he's putting himself in full-on gladiator mode. And the bottom line is, you come out that no matter what victorious. You don't let this man take something from you. And taking something from you can mean your life. It can. It really can. It can mean your faculties. It can mean a piece of your soul, to be honest with you. Like, I've left a piece of my soul in the ring before, in sparring. I've had an absolutely, like, horrific beating once. And it was like, you know, you'll never get that back. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, I was in that zone of like, this dude's it felt like he was trying to kill me. I don't think he was trying to, but it's like, when you take yourself in that animalistic moment, you take yourself there. You know, luckily I didn't die. I'm here to tell the story, but what I'm trying to tell you is that this is the training that you go through to prepare yourself for moments like this. So all he's doing is talking about the fight that's coming up. His biggest fight, probably. You could probably argue the Loma fight or Kambosos might have been the biggest in terms of what it meant at the time. But right now, this is a huge fight for Teo. He is, you know, staring at bad performance against Sander Martin, a loss against Kambosos, delusion, you know, his family, you know, disrupting his life. His dad, we all know, is a bit of an issue, shall we say, but you know, it just sounds like his upbringing was a little tough, which is not his fault, obviously, but his dad is a rough dude, and is part of the reason why I think his delusion is as high as it is, because it's like he needs to have some sort of balance in there. And if he ain't getting it from his missus, and he's not getting it from his dad, where's he getting it from? Do you know what I mean? Hopefully some of his friends, but I feel for the kid. I do. I think he's like, I don't think people are calling him a scumbag. I think he seems like he's a chill dude. Do you know what I mean? He seems like a chill dude. He just says some crazy things here and there. Not crazy, but like, he just says some things that I think, you know, in today's society, people are just so ready to like, and I'm like, you know what? Just look at what he's saying. And he was like, if you watch the whole interview too, I'll leave the link for that as well. That guy's great. Punch Drunk. Big up to him. Big up to him making a video about Ryan Garcia and Target as well. I'm not going to say any more on that before I really get my channel compromised, but I'll leave the link to that because nobody's speaking out about that. Big up Ryan Garcia. Anyway, gladiator sport. Boxing is a gladiator sport. It was founded upon that. It was like you had to get to your self mentality, get the mentality where you are going to, someone is trying to take your life. It's no different in this boxing game. It's dressed up a little different. The fans aren't quite as barbaric, although look at what the fans want. They want KOs. They want brutal knockouts. They want violence. You go to a fight in Brooklyn, they're booing after 1 minute if no one's thrown a punch. I promise you. They are bloodthirsty. And back in those days, it was a million times worse, obviously. You know, there was just a savage DNA that has been passed through, which what Teo is speaking on. Now, what will that do to Josh Taylor's mentality? Now, he's not going to be surprised, I don't think, about this. Josh Taylor's a fighter. He's a former undisputed 140-pound champion. He's the current, I forget what it is, the WBA maybe, I forget. I know I thought he lost to Taylor, to Cattrall. Everybody did. He's still got the belt. Fine. He's a good fighter. He's a bloody good fighter. And that somebody like Josh Taylor won't need any sort of spurring on, but it might just do that. So we should get an absolutely tremendous fight. We were going to anyway. This might have taken it to another level. I haven't seen Taylor's response to this. I know I saw an interview with a response. I don't know if it was to that, but if there's anything that you need a little bit of extra motivation in, because sometimes like that kill or be killed mentality, you know, isn't necessarily always there in terms of training. You just like sometimes it might take a stark reminder or a harder sparring session. It depends on the camp as well. You know, if they're just trying to have learning spars, I don't know. But when you what I'm saying is he might have been alerted a bit like, okay, yeah, time, it's go time. Maybe not. He's a professional fighter, but I'm just saying, if it puts your alert up by 10 times, okay, that's gonna do it. Is he gonna come into, you know? I mean, he is. Look at Teo was questioning Taylor's heart. I don't know if I've seen a fight where Taylor's really showed a lack of heart. I think he had a poor performance against Cattrall, but he's a tough guy. He's got heart, definitely. I do not think that, you know, Teo should be, maybe he's just saying that to rile him up. I don't know, but like, they both have heart, and it's going to be a bloody good fight. And it's going to be an important fight because they've both got something to prove, really, because they're both coming off, you know, Teo, I didn't really score the Sandor Martin. A lot of people thought he lost. He questioned himself after the fight. Josh Taylor, poor performance. Everybody thought he lost, except for him. But he's due a good performance. We're due a good fight. We're going to get a really good fight. This could be violent, and it could be one for the ages. I personally hope they both come out safely. I always say that. As much as I understand the savagery of it, I always wish well on these fighters, and I wish well here because it could get a bit dark in there. It could get a bit nasty. And, you know, may the best man win at the end of the day. And we'll see what happens come June 18th. I mean, it's going to be compelling. I'll do a fight breakdown a little bit closer to the time, and, you know, look at a bit more film. But that's it for now. I had a few more things to say, actually. I wrote my notes down, but, you know, nothing like, I've got, my memory's like a sieve. It's just like, there was just a couple of Gladiator quotes that I found interesting. Like, arena was the Latin word for sand, which they used to use sand to like cover up any of the blood, which I thought was interesting. And yeah, that's it. Anyway, I hope you have a good week, whatever you do, and enjoy any boxing coming up. I don't know if there's any fights on coming up, but if there are, enjoy them while you can. Summer's here. Enjoy the summer while it lasts. And that's it from me, Boxing on the Edge. Take care of yourself.
This is a kill or be killed sport, and I said it like it is. I want to kill Josh Taylor.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I'm going to punish him for keeping my name in his mouth and disrespecting me for no reason. So